PsyPhronesis. You ever walk away from a conversation and feel like something was taken from you? Not your wallet, not your time, but your certainty. Your gut was screaming, but your mind got twisted. That's not just a bad feeling, that's manipulation. If you've ever been gaslit, guilt-tripped, love-bombed, or just left wondering what the hell just happened, this one's for you. Hit that like button. And subscribe for deeper truths where psychology and philosophy collide. The first rule of manipulation is this: you're not supposed to know it's happening. And that's the problem. Manipulation doesn't look like a villain twirling a mustache. It looks like charm, like concern, like logic. Psychologically, this is called covert influence. And as Robert Cialdini, the father of influence psychology, wrote, "The best persuaders become the best through persuasion, the process of arranging for recipients to be receptive to a message before they encounter it. Before someone manipulates you, they soften you. They play on your trust, your empathy, your need to be seen." Philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer warned us about this long before Cialdini. In his treatise The Art of Being Right, he laid out 38 strategies people use to win arguments, not seek truth. One of them, distract. Shift the topic. Overwhelm with rapid claims. Sound familiar? Modern psychology calls this the Gish Gallop, a tactic where someone floods you with so many points that you can't possibly address them all. It's not about being right. It's about making you feel small, disoriented. This is the first line of defense. Don't confuse confidence for correctness. The most manipulative people often speak with total certainty, not because they're right, but because it disarms you. You know this one. Someone tells you, "That never happened," when you know it did. Welcome to gaslighting, a manipulation so sinister it can fracture your sense of reality. Psychologically, gaslighting exploits a deep need we have, the need to feel accurate. We trust our memories because, well, who else are we supposed to trust? But as Daniel Kahneman, Nobel Prize-winning psychologist, once said, "Confidence is a feeling, not a judgment. You can feel certain and still be wrong." And manipulators know that. So they chip away at your confidence, not with facts, but with subtle seeds of doubt. Maybe you're too sensitive. You're remembering it wrong. You always overreact. Over time, you stop trusting your gut, then your memory, then yourself. From a philosophical angle, this is an attack on your epistemic autonomy, your right to determine what you believe based on your own reasoning. Socrates warned against surrendering your inner compass to external voices. To know thyself is the beginning of wisdom. If you don't know yourself, your values, your perceptions, you're easier to shape, mold, control. So here's a protective tool. Keep a record, journal, voice notes, anything. Not for nostalgia, but to defend your mind when someone tries to rewrite your story. If this is striking a nerve, good. That means you're waking up to it. Subscribe if you want more content that actually makes you think. Have you ever caught someone manipulating you? Then hit like and drop a comment below. Let's talk about guilt, because it's one of the most manipulated emotions in existence. Psychologically, guilt is designed to keep us connected to others. It tells us when we might have hurt someone. But manipulators hijack this. They use your empathy against you. You're being selfish. After all I've done for you, you're going to walk away and hurt me like that? This is what psychologists call emotional blackmail. And it's powerful because it doesn't attack your logic. It attacks your heart. Now here's the philosophical trap. If you believe that being good means never disappointing anyone, you're already caught. Immanuel Kant, in his groundwork of the metaphysics of morals, said, "Act in such a way that you treat humanity always at the same time as an end, never merely as a means. That includes yourself. You are not just a tool for someone else's comfort. Your kindness should not be a leash around your neck. Boundaries are not cruelty. They're clarity. And here's a fact. The only people who get angry at your boundaries are the ones who benefited from you having none. So how do you protect yourself here? 3 rules. Ask, am I being asked or cornered? If guilt is the lever, whose need is being prioritized, yours or theirs? Kindness is a choice, not an obligation. Here's the brutal truth. You can't be manipulated by what you don't care about. They hook you by knowing what makes you tick. Your need to be liked, to be understood, to feel safe, to prove your worth. Psychologically, this is called targeted exploitation of cognitive bias. The more emotionally hungry you are, the more predictable you become. And the more predictable, the easier you are to control. Philosophically, this is where stoicism becomes your armor. Epictetus wrote, "If someone succeeds in provoking you, realize that your mind is complicit in the provocation. It's not about blaming yourself. It's about owning your buttons so no one else gets to push them." Self-awareness is the most unmanipulatable trait on earth, because once you know your triggers, you can question them. Once you know your values, you can act on them, not just react. So do the inner work. Where am I most easily swayed? What am I afraid to lose? Who am I still trying to prove myself to? Let's say someone tells you, "If you loved me, you'd do this." That's not a request. That's a trap. It's what's known in logic as a false dichotomy. A manipulation where you're forced to choose between 2 extremes. Either you care or you don't. Either you agree or you're the enemy. Either you stay or you're abandoning them. Sound familiar? This isn't reasoning. It's coercion dressed as clarity. And it works because it feels like a moral dilemma. But it's not your job to solve a lie with honesty. As Aristotle said in his Nicomachean Ethics, the mark of an educated mind is to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Let that sink in. You can hear someone's pain without surrendering your truth. You can hold space without collapsing your boundaries. You are not obligated to play a rigged game. So how do you walk through this world alert, but not afraid? How do you keep your heart open without getting played? You don't close yourself off. You learn how to see. See how people use words to confuse instead of clarify. See when your emotions are being fed, not felt. See when guilt is being used to reshape your choices. And when you see it, you don't react. You remember yourself. You breathe. You pause. You ask, is this about truth or control? Because the moment you remember your own mind, manipulation fails. If this helped you see something clearer, subscribe. We talk about the deep stuff here, psychology, philosophy, and how to walk through this life awake. And if you've got a story of how you caught yourself being manipulated or broke free from it, drop it in the comments. You never know who you might help.
PsyPhronesis.